I am in an ongoing battle that has recently escalated with my local neighborhood squirrels. You see, when I opened up the garden, I decided to put up a little bird feeder. I really enjoyed watching the local birds, but I found, as a lot of people do, the squirrels looked as an easy snack. So I created various obstacles. I put things hanging from the tree where they couldn't climb around. What did they end up doing? They just dive bombed the feeder from the tree. I put a long chain all the way across the yard. They tightrope to the center. I welded up two things right there that I could extend the bird feeder away from the trees and things like that. And what did they do? They took flying leaps off of the roof in order to just slam into it and knock all the bird seeds onto the ground. I thought we had developed a truce, that I'd started scheduling my feeding of the birds to right in the morning, and I would get a huge swath of birds that would come in at that same time. They'd empty out the bird feeder and just leave the few squirrels of scraps, which, a squirrel in the afternoon grabbing a handful wasn't that big a deal to me. Recently, they escalated. It wasn't not one, not two, not three, but four separate squirrels that have come to my bedroom window lately in the morning to rattle the cages to wake me up to come feed them so that they could run off all the birds from the feeder. So that's it. Warfare's on. We're going to design a squirrel-proof bird feeder today, get it built up, and tell those squirrels to take a hike. So here are the things I've got. A hook, a cone, some scrap metal, a wheel, and some plumbing pipe. I got the wheel and the metal from a junkyard for about $15. I got the pipe from the big box store for, I believe it was like $24, $28. The hook was $1, and the cone I got from one of those country general stores. I think it was less than $20. Based on my research, the big obstacles are squirrels can evidently do a standing jump up to about 4 feet, but if they get enough momentum, they can clear about 9 feet. And then you have to take introductory. If they're coming from the top of the tree, dive bombing your bird feeder like they have done in the past from my roof, we got to increase that distance a little bit. So, how would you do it with all this stuff? Here's how we're going to get started. So the first thing I want to do is I want to weld on a piece of metal in here. So I need to clear this off first and then cut out something. I'm going to start by grinding off the rust for the area that I'm going to be welding. Then I've got to cut out this middle section of the I-beam and clean it up. So we're going to weld that right in the center of the wheel. With that cut out, I should be able to just kind of lay it down there, get this distance, and just kind of make the curve, eyeballing it. And we'll plasma that out. Not perfect, but a lot better than my first attempt with the plasma. And it fits. So I'll clean it up and we'll weld it in. So on my machine, I made sure it's on flux core, and it told me to make sure that the positive and negative were reversed. I've got 035, and I'm going to set it up for 3/16, which is close as the I-beam was, and it's set in the middle, so I can kind of fiddle with it to do the settings. I'm still learning this stuff. It's kind of nice having that automatic reference of numbers here. Here we go. Not great, not horrible. Next, I've got this 1/8 inch piece of scrap from the salvage yard. I'm going to do the same exact things. I'm going to mark my layout. I'm going to plasma it. I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to weld it on, except this time I'm putting it on the other side of the wheel. It sticks. With that done, I've now got to cut a 1-inch hole so that the black rod will fit right down in there, and I can weld it up here and down there, and that should give it the strength to go pretty high up there, because this wheel is kind of heavy. Okay, we got 5 holes, so if I start at the middle of this hole and go to the middle of that, I should be in the dead center. And we'll do the same thing here, middle, middle. So I now need to do a 1-inch hole right there. And that should give me enough space to drop the black metal pipe down here. I can weld it around there and weld it to the base, and that should give it all its strength. With that done, let's move to the pipe. So we know that squirrels can jump at least 4 feet straight up. So just to be sure, I'm going to go ahead and make this, I'm going to say, let's go 6 feet. 6 feet to start with. So that right there is 6 feet. Now my problem is that on this first joint, I want, the bar to run, one bar to be running across and this one to come up, and I want to cup it to go around it, so that U thing. So I've never done this before, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a half circle at that spot, a U, so to speak, coming around here, then flip it over to the other side, do the same thing, and then connect the 2 tops. And I'm going to try plasmaing it out and see how that works. Not perfect, but it'll work. Next, we gotta figure out how big to make it, or at least the opening. So here's my bird feeder, and the pole is gonna be coming up the middle from underneath. I want a little bit of overhang, and it's gonna be swaying a lot, so I don't want to be hearing it. So I'm gonna say 16 inches across. Since I already had that U on this side, I will just square cut it on my crosscut saw over here, 16 inches down. So this piece will go right there. I got a thing right there so we can go up. So how high do we need to go up? So this too is also 16 inches, and because I'm going to be coming up and down a little bit, that'll give it some swing room. So the next cut should probably be low 16 inches. So this piece will go right there. The bird feeder will be lined up in the center, giving it some swing room. So we want to come over right about there before we have the little hook to hook that onto. Which, luckily, that works out just about right. So I need to figure out how to miter these a little bit so that they will go together just right. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking down right where they touch. That'll be a cross section, and they'll come to that point right there. So I just need to draw that angle. So this piece will go right there, and that piece will go right there. I'll get the angles right, and then we can just move this over until that lines up with the middle. Seems like it'll work. Might as well start welding this stuff here. Unfortunately, my mic batteries died here, and I didn't realize it, so you're going to have to get a bit of a voiceover recollection because I can't reshoot this stuff. And when the mic died, it actually stopped the video I was in the middle of, so I missed actually welding the first section. But here I'm talking about my order of operations. How I welded the least critical part, that angled piece, first. Then I used a 90-degree square to hold the bottom piece and weld it. I say these were the least critical because the alignment of the feeder all comes down to how I attach that bottom bar to the main upright pole. I just had to position it aligning the actual feeder with the hook and then weld it up. Now when I was welding up that main pole, because my plasma in those original U's wasn't perfect, there were some big gaps. So I used this stitching technique a gentleman at the welding supply place told me about. You kind of tack one side, then the other. It kind of builds up the metal until they meet in the middle. Without the stitching technique and allowing the metal to cool between kind of tacks, the weld would just kind of drip and not really build up. Afterwards, I attached the hook. Now, in hindsight, I did make a pretty major mistake here, and I didn't strip the nickel off the hook before welding. Nickel fumes are not good. But I didn't smell anything because the wind was so strong, so I didn't realize my mistake at the time. In the future, a little vinegar in a jar and let them sit for an hour, all that nickel would be gone. Afterwards, it was hit everything with a wire wheel to get the scale, rust, and stickers off, cutting off the threads of the hook, then grinding down some of my uglier welds. I also took the circle I cut out earlier to cap the hole on the top so rain wouldn't get down inside. The next step involved attaching that pipe contraption to the wheel. Needed help for that one. When Dad came out, his first comment was, "Oh, that's interesting," thinking I was already done. In case you don't know, that's Southern for WTF. But with his help, we tacked it up. Granted, the first attempt didn't go too well, and I almost blinded him with an accidental arc. But tacking both the bottom contact point and the top circle area, it made it solid enough that I could finish welding up on my own. The last thing before paint was attaching that squirrel cone. I'm 5'8", so I kind of figured eye level is high enough a squirrel couldn't jump over it. Simple tack and weld job. With the paint dry the next morning, it was a simple rolling it out to wherever I wanted. What I like about this design is it's kind of in a area that I drive quite a bit, so I can roll it out of the way, or if the squirrels figure out a way to leap over to it, I can move it to another position. And the birds, I think, will like it out in the middle open.